Jerk, you bum, you scum, you're an idiot.
And everything ties back to he was the last person with her. If you're the last person with somebody that's missing, you should be the first one to help, the first one to the police, the first one everything. But this guy don't want to be in contact with nobody. That's a sign right there.
On December 21st, 2021, authorities were called to Route 107 in Saugus, Massachusetts, after a body was discovered in the Rumney Marsh Reservation. At first, it appeared to be an isolated recovery, the end of a missing persons search that had been underway for 3 days. Within hours, investigators confirmed what the family had been saying all along. The death was not accidental. Foul play was suspected. The Essex County District Attorney's Office opened a homicide investigation. At that point, this was no longer a routine missing persons case. Welcome to Real True Crime 24/7. May you and your family stay safe wherever you are. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because we bring you the parts the media never reported.
There is a large crime scene here along Route 107. The body was found in a marsh by family members who were out searching the area. They say they were driving by and saw what they believed to be the victim's purse, so they pulled over to get a closer look. And that's when they say they saw from a distance the body. The body has now been confirmed by the district attorney to be that of the missing woman, Sherell Pringle.
The case centers on Sherell Pringle, 40 years old, a resident of Woburn, Massachusetts. Those who knew her described her as driven, ambitious, and deeply devoted to her son. She held an associate's degree in business and went on to earn a bachelor's degree from the University of Massachusetts, Boston, with a focus in fashion design. For over a decade, she worked at the Steward Medical Group in Watertown, Massachusetts. According to family members, she called her mother Pearl Garner every single morning just to say good morning. She was in the process of having an offer approved on a new home at the time of her death. Nothing about the circumstances of her life initially suggested what would follow in the final hours of December 18, 2021. In the months leading up to December 2021, Sherell Pringle had been dating Bruce Maiben, a 44-year-old man from Lynn, Massachusetts. The relationship was a few months old. According to court filings, the relationship had not been without incident. Prosecutors later revealed that Sherell had sent text messages to a close friend in the days before she went missing. In those messages, she said she was done with Maiben, that she intended to end the relationship. The reason, documented in the pretrial motion, Maiben had broken into her home and threatened her with a knife following an argument. She had made up her mind, but she hadn't yet acted on it. On the evening of December 18, 2021, Sherell Pringle left home dressed in a green hoodie to go on a date with Bruce Maiben. She told her mother Pearl where she was going. That was the last time Pearl heard her voice. On the night of December 18th, Sherell was last seen at a Boston nightclub with Maiben. After the evening ended, Maiben later told the family that he had dropped Sherell off at her home in Woburn between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. That account was disputed immediately. Sherell's son, 19-year-old Jalmani Larion, was home at that time. He stated clearly that his mother never came through the door. By Sunday, December 19th, her son had filed a missing persons report. He went first to the Lynn Police Department at approximately 5:55 in the evening, and then to the Woburn Police Department just before 8 that night. Both reports were filed. Sherell's family did not wait for law enforcement to act. Using phone tracking technology, they pinged Sherell's device and located it in Lynn, specifically inside a catch basin on the side of the road. Authorities had to be called to the scene the following day to open the drain and retrieve it. Near the phone's location, the family also found Sherell's purse discarded on the roadside.
The family says they were the ones doing the investigating and wish it was the police instead.
We call each other back and talk on the phone, maybe 3-4 times a day. And now
she didn't deserve this.
A heartbroken mother and brother.
Very caring.
Definitely a
great parent.
person.
A great little sister.
Both have been looking for 40-year-old Sherell Pringle since Saturday night, when her son told police she did not return to her Woburn home.
My son found her cell phone in a sewer, okay? He had to call the police station. They had to come out They couldn't get it open. The next day, they had to come out with somebody to open it.
After the family found her phone, they shared her story all over social media and began their own search.
They were out driving because somebody had a feeling that she would be out near some water. They were driving. They happened to make a U-turn and come back, and they seen a purse. They seen a purse. So they parked the car and they walked back up where they seen it. And there she was. There she was. The police didn't find her. The family found her. The family found her.
They found Pringle's body just under 72 hours from the time they say she was last seen alive.
In the days following Sherell's disappearance, while her family conducted their own search, and while her son pressed police to locate Bruce Maiben, something unusual was unfolding online. Bruce Maiben posted Sherell's missing person flyer to his Facebook page. This detail is significant for one reason. According to those who followed Maiben's social media activity, posting missing persons flyers was not unusual behavior for him. He had a documented pattern of sharing flyers for others on his page. As a result, when Sherell's flyer appeared under his name, it did not immediately trigger suspicion from the public. To anyone who followed him online, it looked like more of the same. While that post was live, Maiben was not cooperating with police. He was scheduled to meet with investigators and did not show up. The Toyota Avalon he had last been seen driving was later found burned. On December 21, 2021, the family found Sherell's body themselves. She was located in the Rumney Marsh Reservation along Route 107 in Saugus, a marshy area off the Salem Turnpike near the 63 Salem Turnpike marker. Her death was immediately ruled suspicious. The Essex County District Attorney's Office confirmed foul play.
And tonight, the Essex County District Attorney's Office says an investigation is underway, that foul play is suspected, but no arrests have been made yet.
The medical examiner's findings were stark. Sherell Pringle had been stabbed more than 200 times. Due to the severity of her injuries, her family was forced to hold a closed casket funeral. Investigators focused their attention on Bruce Maiben. His alibi, that he had dropped Sherell off safely at her home, was contradicted by her son's account and by the location of her phone and personal belongings, which were found on a road in Lynn, not in Woburn. His car had been burned. He had failed to appear for a scheduled meeting with police. Digital records, witness accounts, and physical evidence were gathered. The text messages Sherell had sent to a friend, expressing her desire to end the relationship after Maiben had broken into her home and threatened her with a knife, were recovered and documented by prosecutors. On December 23, 2021, just 2 days after Sherell's body was found, and with Christmas approaching, Bruce Maiben was arraigned in Lynn District Court. Emotions ran high. Approximately 350 people packed the courtroom and joined the proceeding via Zoom. Many had changed their social media profile photos to read "Justice for Sherell." The hearing was briefly disrupted when onlookers began addressing Maiben directly from the gallery. At this arraignment, Maiben was not yet charged with homicide. The initial charges were larceny over $1,200, tampering with evidence, and obstruction of a criminal investigation. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf. He was held without bail. Sherell's son, Jamani Larion, spoke after the hearing. "What hurts the most is, I told these cops from the jump to locate Bruce Maiben. I told them day one, you need to locate Bruce Maiben. He lives in Lynn. You need to ping his phone and find him." Her brother Diocious Wesley spoke about the pace of the investigation. They had enough information on a motive. They did not act fast enough. They procrastinated the whole time. Within a month, prosecutors upgraded the charges. Bruce Maiben was formally charged with the first-degree murder of Sherell Pringle. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf. The case proceeded through the Massachusetts court system over the following years, ultimately reaching trial in 2025. The prosecution was led by Assistant District Attorney Kate McDougall, alongside ADA Lindsay Nasson. Maiben was represented by Attorney John Morris. Prosecutors presented the pretrial motion evidence, which included the text messages Sherell had sent to a friend in the days before her death. Those messages documented that she had told her friend she was done with Maiben. that she planned to leave the relationship following the incident in which he broke into her home and threatened her with a knife. The defense argued that prosecutors had not proven Maiben knew Pringle intended to break up with him, and further that even if he had known, there was no proof he would have responded violently. The jury deliberated and rejected that argument. On Monday, November 3, 2025, Bruce Maiben was found guilty of first-degree murder in the death of Sherell Pringle. 2 days later, on November 5, 2025, Maiben appeared before the Honorable Judge Thomas Drexler in Essex County Superior Court for sentencing. At the sentencing hearing, Sherell's mother, Pearl Garner, delivered her victim impact statement. "When Sherell was murdered, a piece of me died with her," she said through tears.
I sit on my porch at night alone and just cry. When Sherell was murdered, a piece of me died with her.
She addressed Maiben directly before the court concluded its business. Judge Drexler sentenced Bruce Maiben to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was ordered committed to the Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center. Essex County District Attorney Paul F. Tucker issued a statement. "This verdict and subsequent sentence will ensure that the defendant will be held accountable for his senseless and atrocious conduct. Our hope is that the family and friends of Sherell Pringle can find some comfort in this outcome." Sherell Pringle had already made her decision. The text messages were sent. The intention was there. She had seen the warning signs, a broken-in door, a knife, a threat, and had told someone who mattered to her what she planned to do next. She didn't get the chance to follow through. What the record shows is a pattern of behavior on one side, a decision being formed on the other, and a narrow window between the two in which nothing intervened in time. Her family conducted their own investigation. They found her phone, they found her purse, they found her body, and for nearly 4 years they waited for the legal system to arrive at a conclusion they had already reached on day one. Sherell Pringle was 40 years old. She was a mother, she was a daughter. She was 3 days from Christmas when her family found her in a marsh off a Massachusetts highway. Bruce Maiben will spend the rest of his life in a Massachusetts state prison. What remains? For the family, for the son who found her phone in a sewer drain, for the mother who said she lost a piece of herself, is not closure. It is an accounting. And in cases like this, that accounting is often the only thing the record can offer. Thank you for watching Real True Crime 24/7. If you found this case interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more real true crime stories just like this. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new case. Thanks again for watching Real True Crime 24/7.
She's gone before Christmas. Leaving her family, man. What are you talking about?
The family of a woman found dead in a Saugus Marsh screamed at her boyfriend today after a brief court hearing which provided them with no answers. Sherell Pringle went on a date with her boyfriend Saturday night but never came home. She was found dead days later, this past Tuesday. WBZ's Lisa Gresci is live in Lynn tonight. Lisa, you were in the courtroom and you learned that boyfriend Bruce Maiben is not charged with murder.
Anna Riddis, he is not facing that charge. And as for Sherell Pringle's family and friends, they showed up here to Lynn District Court in full force, and the tension in the courtroom wasn't just felt, it was heard.
Quiet. Justice for Sherell Pringle. That's who we need to be saving. Never mind him. She's gone before Christmas.
Pringle's boyfriend, 44-year-old Bruce Maiben, stepping out in court.
Commonwealth versus Bruce Maiben.
Coming face to face with dozens of Pringle's family members.
Bring him up. No, none of that.
A moment defense attorney John Morris was trying to prevent.
Because of the identification process. The government doesn't have much to go on.
While the DA's office says foul play is suspected in this case,
He's not charged with a homicide, I'll tell you that.
Maiben is charged with larceny, tampering with evidence, and obstruction. At least a dozen police officers and detectives lined the courtroom walls.
We found her. And we want justice.
Sherell Pringle's family consoling one another outside of court. Outraged relatives had to be the ones to discover Pringle's body alongside Route 107 in Saugus Tuesday.
I love my sister. I miss my sister. And I want her back. But we found her. Not that we did.
What we want to say is that we found her, not the police.
As for Maiben, a man the family is convinced knows exactly what happened to Sherell.
He did the wrong thing and is wrong. Before the holidays, if he did that to your family, wouldn't you want him to pay?
He is innocent until proven guilty.
He did not kill his girlfriend. He's denying that.
Maiben is due back here in court on Tuesday for a dangerousness hearing. As for Sherell Pringle's death, that is still under investigation. Reporting live here in Lynn for now, Lisa Greshey, WBZ News.
Jerk, you bum. You scum. You're an idiot.
The mother of a Woburn woman did not hold back as she spoke to the man who killed her daughter in 2021. She delivered those statements and much more on that day that convicted killer learned his sentence.
Boston 25 News anchor Rachel Keller brings us inside the courtroom for that mother's emotional message.
You don't deserve to be walking here. You will get what you deserve because God don't like ugly.
A heartbroken mother addressing her daughter's killer as he puts his head down. Bruce Maiben was sentenced for first-degree murder in the death of 40-year-old Sherell Pringle. Maiben appeared in court wearing a light blue button-up shirt.
I hope you rot in hell for what you did.
Pringle disappeared just before Christmas on December 19, 2021. Investigators say Pringle was killed that morning and her body was found off Route 107 in Saugus. Maiben, her ex-boyfriend, was arrested 4 days later. Pringle's mother, Pearl Garner, calling it a vicious crime.
217 stab wounds.
She says her daughter was almost unrecognizable and they had to have a closed casket at her funeral.
I sit on my porch at night alone and just cry. When Sherell was murdered, a piece of me died with her.
Garner says her daughter loved to travel and hike and just put an offer on her dream home, which was accepted after she was killed. Pringle's brother also spoke.
I have to stay strong for my moms and my nephew. No man never wants to show weakness. But I washed cities away behind closed doors with my tears.
Maiben has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I'm Rachel Keller for your local station, Boston 25 News.